Hi, in this session I'm going to explain to you how we can create a code-only property, unlike the previous video where we were talking about the visual web parts. To get this done, let's switch back to Visual Studio. So the objective of this exercise is to tell you that in my theme site I've got a custom list called as bugs that's having 4 different columns like bug title, bug description, category, and developer. Ideally, when we click on a new item, SharePoint is providing you some UI. So what's my plan here? I want to create this kind of UI by myself through a code-only property, and so that we will be able to add records to this list through our web part instead of clicking on new item. So to get this done, I'm trying to create a new project. It's an empty SharePoint project, and I'm going to call this as exercise 5, and I click on OK. Because this is a code only solution, I don't mind really deploying this as a sandbox solutions. Of course, in SharePoint 2013, even visual web parts can be easily deployed as sandbox solutions, no issues, unlike in SharePoint 2010. So let's click on finish. So we have an empty SharePoint project as a sandbox solution, and I'm trying to create a code only web part, this one, and I'll call this as bugs web part, and we click on OK. So as soon as you do that, you can see there is a class file for you where it is being inherited with the web part class. We have a .web part class and elements.xml file. This where the group name you can change to any group name of your choice, and also in the .web part file we have the bug title and then the bug description. We are already ready with the feature called as, I will call this as bug feature, and I can deploy this feature as a site collection feature, and this feature is containing the .web part file and the XML file as well. Perfect. Now we come back to the webpart.cs. In my very first video in this course, we were talking about overriding create child controls functions as well as render contents function. In this demonstration, I'm actually going to do lots of things in the create child controls function, wherein I'm going to create this kind of UI programmatically through code, because in the code only web parts we don't have designer support. The code might look a bit lengthy, but it's just repetition of code, so nothing to worry. So I've got, first of all, some couple of global controls. I have a bug title, bug description, and I have a drop down list for the category, so where we can say this bug is related to which technology, for example. And then when we click on this button, that bug has to be added to this bugs list. So once I'm ready with these controls, we can go ahead and simply have the code necessary to create the UI. So what I'm trying to do, first of all, in the create child controls function, I'm creating my text boxes, my drop down list, and the button as well, but also specifying the titles max length as 100 and the number of columns as 50. The reason, and then the bug title ID, we're also changing that to bug title. If you see, the title is actually just title, but internally it can be as bug title. And we also have the bug descriptions max length, and bug description is a multi-line text box, and it's in each row we will be able to see some 50 letters. And the descriptions height and width we are controlling through the pixels. And then we have a drop down list where I'm trying to have a couple of categories like SharePoint, ASP.NET, or some SQL Server, whatever it is, and that's the ID for the DDL category. Finally, when I click on this button, we are attaching an event handler add click event to this function. We're also controlling the height and text and width of the button as well. Finally, till now we are just creating the controls, but we haven't added those controls onto the screen. Now we will be adding these controls with the help of some HTML tables. First of all, I have a table tag in between trtd. We have bug title, and then controls.add of bug title is this one. So first of all, we are adding our very first text box in the first TD, and then we have description, and then we have the drop down list, and then I have the button. Perfect. So everything is nice. So the last thing that I need to do, what if the user clicks on the respective button? So when the user clicks on the button, I'm calling a function called as add list item. So where is my add list item function? I have this pretty much here. So this function will actually add that record to our custom list that we already have in the team site. So first of all, I'm trying to get a handle to my current web. So wherever this web part is being put onto the page, to that website it actually works. That's the reason I'm trying to say spcontext.current.web. So in whichever website you actually try to use this web part, that website's handle comes to the web. And then we're trying to say web.lists of bugs is my custom list name. That's okay. So if the bugs list is found, means if it is not equal to null, we're trying to get the records of this bugs list into the item collection. So now I can simply say item collection.add. So item collection.add function is pretty much like as if like you click on the new item and you have a blank record with no values. That is what the add function is actually doing. So now I can simply say bug title is bug title.text description, and also the category. Just for fun, based on the category, if the category is SharePoint, then we say it's the developer has to be Grayscale, database, Ponting, ASP.NET, some Samuels. That's it. Finally, the bug category has to be SCAT, and bug developer has to be one of the value of this as developer, and then you must update after this add function. That's it. It's a pretty simple code only web part, but you can see we did a lot of hard work, at least me, to get this UI prepared. Unlike in visual web parts, it's pretty easy. We can create the UI within seconds, but here we do that by ourselves through code. Everything is nice. Simply build a solution and then deploy the solution. This is a sandbox solution. See, once the solution gets deployed, we'll switch over to our team site. The deployment is succeeded, and now I try to come back to my home page. In the edit mode, I click on insert web part. I have kept my web part in the my custom group that's called as bugs web part, and we click on add. So now it will call the create child controls function, and we should see the UI. So now you can see the UI has come, the bug title, the bug description, and the bug category. Everything is nice, including the add to bugs list. We can simply save and close. Now this UI has come by ourselves. Unlike if you see the bugs list, this is the default page what SharePoint is giving to us, and we have customized the look and feel, and we have our own page. And I have kept this web part on my home page. Now if I say the bug title, for example, error found in user module functionality, bug description redirecting to some error page, and let's say this is actually related to some ASP.NET, and for ASP.NET the guy who is supposed to handle this bug is Marlon Samuels, and we click on add to bugs list. So now everything is nice. Now if I can come back to the bugs list, we now should see there's a new record. That's it. Thanks for watching.